So, hello everybody, this is xhyres, and today we're going to take a look at some of my favorite custom maps. So I'm definitely looking forward to Reforged. This game has been one of my most anticipated games ever. I love Warcraft 3. I played with a mate and it's just so much fun playing these custom maps. I'm not very good at the normal RTS play, also just because I'm not really into keybinding this game that much, so that of course matters a lot. But custom, I've always been pretty good at some of these custom maps and I really just genuinely love them. So I'm going to share some of them. You can see I have so many freaking folders, it's all just random. It's just I have way too many maps, so I hope I can kind of inspire some people, find different maps. Maybe you can also share in the comments if you have favorite maps that I don't should try out, don't have, etc. Always looking for kind of new custom maps, because this is probably one of the most varied games ever. There are so many ways to play this game, and that's what makes it fun. One day you're into tower defense, next day you're into a Dota map. It's brilliant. I love the variation. So yeah, we will just move on and show some of the best maps now. So starting off the list is going to be tower defense games. I love tower defense and I've always been pretty good at this particular stronghold. So the idea is very simple. You have a base and it can either be, I guess, up to 4 versus 4 or more, but the usual map is 3 versus 3. So we have a base, right, and we just need to upgrade that one, and then we also send units to the other opponent to get more, gold to spend, or income as it's called. And that's basically it. Now the cool thing with Stronghold is there's not that many towers, and you really just have to focus on maybe 4 towers for a really long time of the game. You can of course build 20 towers right in the start if you want to, but it's generally a bad thing. So there's not a lot of micromanagement where you have to kind of stress, oh my god, I have to build, because some of these other tower defense games are pretty hectic where you have to constantly build instead of upgrade towers, and I don't really like that. Plus I really love the income mechanic, so this is why I want to start off with saying that this is probably my favorite tower defense game of any I've ever played. It's also a very popular one, so everyone kind of knows about this one. So let's move on with the next one. And so let's take a look at Ghost Survivor TD. This is one that's very hectic, but it's also rather easy. If you play on normal, you can pretty much just kind of chill around. But the problem with these maps also that you get a lot of gold and you really have to build a lot of towers right from the start. These sort of maps can also be a bit annoying because they always kind of play out the same. There's no real difference in how the mechanics works, so you always just kind of aim for the best tactics, the best way to build towers and whatnot. Still, I enjoy these more simpler tower defense games, and Ghost Survivor TV is just that. If you want a very simple, clean tower defense game, this is it. And so let's take a look at one of the more popular ones. I definitely think most people have probably played this one, Elemental TD. So the basic concept is that you build few towers, but every 5 or was it 10 levels, I believe it's 5 levels, you get a boss, and that boss gives you a reward, so you can customize your towers into lightning, frost, etc. It's pretty fun mechanic because you kinda tend to not see the same play styles every time. Of course there are some tactics that are just always gonna be better, like building 2 super cannon towers right in the start. That's definitely one of the better ways to kind of get the first levels done and whatnot. Darkness towers does a lot of single target. Water is also really strong, so you do kind of see the same meta, the same towers people tend to build. But I still like this one just because of that boss mechanic. So you kind of have oh yeah, every 5 level I get a great upgrade, so I kind of know what to expect. And also if I'm going to be failing or not, you can kind of see if you're doing poor right from the start. So it's a pretty fun mechanic. And of course we can't do this list without Legion TD. This is probably one of the most played one online. I tend to think that it's a little boring, but it's still varied enough that you see different players choosing different races. Though there are some races that are just kind of overpowered, so everyone kind of tends to pick those. Beast is really great, at least in the versions that I tend to play. You kind of just want to go for a dragon right away. I can maybe just try to show off how good that dragon is against the first level or whatever. But yeah, so Legion TT, you have a king that you need to defend from spawns, and if your towers are not able to kill those spawns, they will run to the king and kill him. And you can upgrade the king to do more damage, have more health, etc. And then you also need to worry about your wood income just a little bit. It's not really the main part of the game, but you still need some wood to kind of go through the game. And So yeah, you both have that like economy aspect where you need to, not really worry about the wood income, but still there's like a little min-max into that. So that creates different strategies. Are you going to want to, invest more into wood early on, or should you invest more into few towers, or maybe you want to build more towers than just one, two? There's definitely many ways to do it, and I can just quickly show the first wave here with a nice overpowered dragon. He's easily going to clean up the entire wave. Beast has always been very strong, at least in the versions that I play, so a lot of people tend to pick them for that specific reason, that they are just very strong overall. And then last but not least, Moffat CD. This is probably also one of the more played one online, at least I think a lot of people like to play this. This particular version is just not really easy to play as a solo player, so it's not really a game that you tend to play for yourself, because you will always kind of lose against the first wave without either cheat codes or some way to kind of do it. Because these maps here are often made for like 8 players, 5 players or whatever online, but it's very, very basic. So you have few towers and you just upgrade those, and maybe you have to worry a little about your economy versus upgrades versus getting your keep upgraded, etc. There's a few ways you kind of plan it, but mostly you're just gonna build a poison tower, a freeze tower, go for some bomb towers, whatever. It's very simple. And so with the tower defense games out of the way, let's focus on Dota maps. So Dota maps are of course not like League of Legends or Dota or whatever. They are kind of like varied variations that has a lot of different ways. And one of the most popular ones is of course Footman Frenzy. So you buy a hero at the start. This is going to be like the main character you're going to level up, get upgrades on and whatnot. And then you basically just upgrade the units that spawns from your keep, and that's about it. So the fights can be pretty long. I definitely played these maps here for a very long time when it's very equal, but you can also lose pretty fast. And of course there are tactics and ways to kind of play really well or play poorly. I always tend to go for like Night Elf in some versions. I can see this version that I picked right now is not really one of the better maps, but you basically don't have to worry too much about your hero. It's more about the units actually when you get later into the game. The hero is not that important, I would say, so it's fun to kind of see the difference and whatnot in these maps, where some maps tends to only focus on the hero, and some of them maybe takes a backseat later on in the end of the game. And so let's take a look at Rabbit versus Sheep. This is definitely one of the more quirky Dota maps, but it's still very fun. So you pick your hero in the start, and then you're teleported into an arena, a small grid that's not very big, and then you just need to kill your opponent's sheep that spawns on his side. It's pretty simple. There's not really much going on in terms of mechanics or whatever. You level up your hero, and then you just buy items when you have enough gold. You have your fountains in the corners. If you're dying, you need to get mana back and whatnot. But mostly it's just about surviving in this arena map. In terms of also heroes, there are of course some heroes that are very strong and others that are pretty poor, but that's probably to be expected. One mechanic that a lot of people, gentlemen's agreement, tend to ignore is that they don't upgrade units that spawns, but you can of course do that if you want to. Anywho, it's not really also a map that you can play against the computer, so it's also only an online map. And so let's take a look at Nature's Wrath. So this is a Dota map where you kind of just build up your character over time. It's a pretty long game, and then at the end you have to go up to the end part of the map and kind of just kill a boss and whatnot. Haven't played this map too much, but I still quite enjoy it. However, it's pretty long, and I wouldn't say it's one of the easier maps. I'm not even sure if you can actually solo this game. I guess pro players have before. But it's pretty hard and it's pretty long. So for a Dota map, it's something different if you want to challenge yourself. There's a lot of mechanics going on with like units that you can upgrade, things you can kind of buy, tomes and whatnot. Even like the way items are acquired in the game for your hero. They drop from mobs and whatnot. So there's a lot of RPG elements in this type of game here. But I don't like the length. It's a little slow and a little long for me, but that's about it. And so let's take a look at one of my favorite Dota maps, Hero Lion Wars heresy. This is such a classic one. It's also played a lot online. I always kind of tend to pick the paladin, so of course I have to do that as well. This game is extremely hard. this is one of the most challenging maps ever in any custom maps I at least played. So you have to balance your income with sending creeps. I just build that. So we send creeps to your opponent, and they have to kill those, and you also have to kill theirs if they send anything to you. So it's a balance between survival, gold income, ways you could kind of consider spending gold on items and whatnot. Get the best items at the end and whatnot. Also just kind of synergy between classes. There are some ways you can kind of synergize with other classes that help them out. In terms of kind of overall, if this is a good map or not, I would say it's one of the best, because this is such a varied one, because all the heroes are fairly balanced. There are some that are pretty strong, like this paladin here, but I really like the variation in the heroes, because there are at least 10 heroes that I would all say are pretty great to play and fun, and all the heroes are designed really well, so there's no real carbon copy where one hero feels same to another one. Like for instance, the paladin has literally 5 different abilities, and they all synergize together to make a really fun hero. I cannot say how good this is. You got the income, you got the items, you got the strategy, everything. And of course the list cannot be complete without xhyres. This is one of the most popular games, and also one of the most fun ones to try and solo. There are definitely people on YouTube that has shown some really great skills in this map, so it's always kind of fun to see how fast or how far you can get yourself, because this map is very hard to play, and it's also pretty long, but still it's not that long. It's like Nature's Wrath or something. It's still it's a more fast pace and whatnot, and there are some great mechanics. The different races are played out well, and there's also game modes where you kind of have to do something for a challenge and whatnot, and then it resumes to the normal gameplay that you were doing. So it's a very varied gameplay, and the heroes feels great and all that. So yeah, this game is also very popular. This is probably, I think, maybe the most played game of Dota maps, besides a normal Dota map and tower defense games online. So popular, but I still love it, and I have to include it on the list if people don't know about this map. And here at the end of the video, I wanted to show a favorite one. This one I really love, and I played it a lot. So this is not really a popular game for whatever reason. I don't think a lot of people kind of like it or know about it, but for me this is like the perfect blend of every custom game, Dota map, whatever there are. So it's called something like Insane Hero Siege something. Green Hills is also another name. This is just the Northland version, so it's winter mode or whatever. So you pick your hero from the start, and then you basically just have to grind gold. The entire game is just a gold farm. Maybe it sounds a little dull, but that's basically the concept. So we start out by getting the first 70,000 gold, or was it 20,000 gold, and then we go down here to a vendor. We just have to just quickly run down here to the unit shop. And as soon as, it was just 20,000 gold. Yeah, some of the, the maps changes out the numbers a little. But in this case, as soon as you have 20,000 gold, which is actually pretty fast to get, then you can build towers with a super pair. And that's where it really becomes funny. So we build strong towers to defend our base. And this base here cannot die. And I wouldn't say it's challenging map or anything. It's not like you have to be stressed about it. You can easily solo the game in about 2 hours, maybe less than 2 hours. And the whole idea is basically just to build towers to defend the base, and then progress up the lanes as fast as you can. Because up here at the end of the map, there's a bad boss, and he is very hard to kill. So you probably have to grind like 2 million gold to beat the end boss, which takes some time. But this is also where wood income comes in to build more towers, grinding gold on kills and whatnot. So you can get those 2 million gold to get all the the great tomes and all the items that you need on your hero to beat the final boss. This is just great. Every hero is kind of varied. They are all decent balanced stars. Of course, some heroes that are really strong, like this one here. I always like this one because it has serpent wards. I tend to just go with this one a lot. But yeah, this map just has so many variations from all the other different custom games. That's probably why I like it, because it's like the best of everything. It really is. So yeah, that's my list. It's a very long one for sure, but I'm sure I missed out on a few more maps that I could probably have mentioned, but don't want to make the video that much longer now. Feel free to comment about your favorite custom maps from Warcraft 3 or anything, questions, whatever. Could be fun to kind of see if other people on my channel, whatever, are interested in Reforged as much as I am. Because damn, I can't wait to get Warcraft Reforged. It's pretty great. Even so far in the beta, at least it's it's starting to get there, even if the beta is moving rather slow at the moment. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, everyone, and have a good one.